Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and yeah, we're going to talk about Clan Pestilens because there's a bit of an issue with them, right? Not only do they have no unique mechanics, which is a massive shame considering that Clan Pestilens is a major clan, their campaign is a bit of a rough one. You know, at the very beginning, as soon as you take over the first minor lizardmen faction that you're fighting against, you've already then got Gorok, Tehenowin, and that dwarf faction, usually Rakarth too, at you. It's not an easy campaign, and it's a bit of a shame because Clan Pestilens is my favourite Skaven clan. I have themed countless armies on the tabletop after this clan, and I'm still painting countless other Plague Monks. Now, when the Nurgle Monogod faction got introduced for Warhammer 3, I got really excited because this mechanic would be perfect for Clan Pestilens. I know some people aren't really keen on reusing mechanics, but when it makes sense, it really makes sense. Sadly, the people at Creative Assembly decided to update Clan Rictus for some reason, instead of, you know, my good boy Skrolk, but modders have come to the rescue. So what this mod does is give you the plague mechanic. It's that simple, but it's just so good. It feels great when playing as Skrolk now. I've been playing for a few hours on another campaign, and it's just phenomenal. So you've got the whole infection stuff, as you can imagine, and that then leads up to the Plague Cauldron. The artwork is obviously just the Nurgle one, which is animated. I'm not sure if that can actually be changed, but the plagues have been changed around. So you've got one base plague, which has got some pretty good stats overall. It's pretty strong. And then you've got all the extra stuff with the symptoms, which are unlocked by just spreading the plagues. It doesn't take too long. In fact, I feel that you spread the plagues a little bit better with Clan Pestilens than you do with Nurgle, and the symptoms themselves do vary, as you can see on screen. I've been mousing over them. You've got some good buffs for your own units, some debuffs for the enemies. They're a bit more, I'd say, dumbed down than the actual Nurgle stuff, but then that's because this is just supposed to be an extra thing for Clan Pestilens. You've already got a lot of mechanics as a Skaven anyway, and obviously you do have some bigger plagues with the recipe system, so you can get some pretty tasty plagues and you can start spreading them around the world in an effort to boost up your armies. Keep in mind that you'll also be boosting up any Nurgle armies with these plagues, as, well, you know, it's a plague, so naturally it's going to also benefit the Nurgle factions. Not that you're going to see many anyway, because they normally die out as quickly as Clan Pestilens did. But yeah, let's continue. There's actually a few things that I really like about this. Already early on, you can start spreading plagues very, very quickly. I'm not sure if it's a little bit faster or it's just RNG was in my side. But yeah, you've got those bonuses coming in, so you're going to be able to start going at it a lot faster. As the clan is going to feel very similar to that of, you know, Clan Skryre, Clan Eshin. You're going to feel like a major clan, and that's the big thing here. It actually feels like it fits really, really well. There's one thing that you do have to note, that when you take over a settlement or so on, you know, your settlement captured, you'll notice that the food icons there, that's actually supposed to be infections. I'm not sure if that's something that needs to be changed in the future, or it just can't be changed, because, you know, trying to transfer some of these mechanics over to other factions which generally don't have it can cause some issues. So there might be some confusion at the very beginning, but then after a few turns, you kind of get used to it. Plus, you know, you can just mouse over it, so it's not too much of an issue. I'd say that the rate that you get infections is probably a little faster than Nurgle at the very beginning of your campaign. Keep in mind that obviously Nurgle has more of a slow grow because there's loads of ways for you to get more infections. It's linked to a lot of different buildings and a lot of other mechanics that are inbred into the faction, whereas here it's mostly through combat. There's a few buildings that can also provide infections, but generally it's just you being aggressive. You do also have access to the general 13th scheme, which is going to give you some infections per turn. 13 per turn is nothing to sniff at. It's actually quite high, and you're going to be really making use of this. At least I have every single turn, just dropping plagues left, right, and center. What you can see on screen right now is just turn 9, but you can see that there's a lot of plagues that spread into a lot of enemy armies too. It's spread into enemy territories, hell, even some friendly ones, because there's Skaven factions around that area. They won't be able to use that mechanic, so they will take some negatives from it. It's just everywhere at this point. Well, not everywhere, but, you know, just in that centralized location where you are in Austria. And it's great, honestly, it's great to see. It feels so fluid as a mechanic. Generally, if you're lucky with RNG, because, yeah, that can be a bit of an issue, it's going to take around turn 20-ish to be able to unlock all the symptoms and therefore unlock all the recipes. But maybe you're just not lucky. It can happen. In my first campaign, I was a little bit unluckier, but yeah, you know, it's not going to take too long. Even then, as you're unlocking all the different symptoms, you can boost up your plagues. Keep in mind that your plagues will get more expensive as you add in more symptoms. At the beginning, it's just going to be 50, but then adding in a symptom, it's going to be 100, just like it is for Nurgle, really. So if you're already used to playing Nurgle's faction, or Festus too, you're pretty much sorted. This is a perfect example of why this mechanic actually works out quite well. This is turn 25, and as you can see, I'm already fighting the Tomb Kings up there, the dwarves from the Spine of Sotek, and obviously Gorok. They actually all declared quite early on me, but I've been spreading out quite heavily. Getting the bonuses from the actual plagues has been helping me expand. And not only that, but like, it's been making it less of a slog. Clan Pestilens actually feels fun here, which is quite surprising, because in vanilla they've been, yeah, let's be honest, they need a bit of a rework. And even then, this is enough, just giving them this mechanic. Obviously, stuff would have to be rebalanced and so on, but this definitely makes Clan Pestilens feel a lot more unique and not another minor Skaven clan. With plague spreading everywhere, you can pretty much do a lot of damage, and I feel like, yeah, this is a great mod if you want to play as Skrolk and you want something quite unique. It's very important with these types of factions, especially with a major clan or a major faction in general, just to have something to separate it from all the other ones. There's loads of Skaven factions, but there was really no reason to play as Skrolk. I mean, we had plagues, but that was the Warhammer 2 version of plagues, and yeah, that was not really that good. You can see me here 10 turns later, and I'm already like pretty much taking over all of Lustria. I'm an aggressive type of player. I usually do act quite fast because I don't like staying still too often, but I was able to already start fighting against Rakaf, getting him out of the way, keeping in good graces with one minor Skaven clan, and also getting rid of Gorok, which I feel was something very, very important to do. As obviously Gorok is probably your biggest threat, obviously Tenwin too, because there's a few bonuses against Skaven. I'm leaving some forces in the south because Oxyotl is also a bit of an issue. Usually as soon as he gets rid of Kairos, because that's a usual thing, he'll turn his attentions to you, and you know, that means that you're getting surrounded more, and these are generally stronger factions. Marcus Wolfheart is also going to be a bit of an issue, Mazdamundi too. It's a very tight location for this type of area, so Clan Pestilens feeling so meh does actually come into effect here a lot. But yeah, this is definitely a fantastic mod that you should check out. Yeah, I know that things aren't looking too great at the moment. We have to wait till Q2 until obviously some DLC, but you might as well start modding your factions. Have some fun with modded playthroughs, especially stuff which really just adds a little bit of logic to the faction, because like I said, this is definitely something that I expect in the future as a base game thing for Clan Pestilens. Well, at least I hope so. But yeah, this is definitely something. It'll be linked in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about it, and yeah, let's have a little bit of a discussion. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic New Year's. This video should go out on the 31st. Nurse those hangovers the next day, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.